Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Salakia. I was in the middle of this video and literally there goes them demons, them principalities. They cut off my video and I literally just said I had 4% left and it didn't even go down to 3% and it actually got cut off. Showing you that them demons is in them high places, always messing with us, you know. They was trying to get the word not to be finished. All right, but basically, if you go back to the previous lesson I was just doing, it was about 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. My phone died. I was in the last couple verses, to end it, and Shaitan basically cut it off with 4% left on my phone. All right, and I was proving a point, heavy point at the moment, but it's all spiritual at the end of the day. All right. So let me get back to where I was talking. All you have to do is go watch the previous video and then pick up for where and I'm picking up for where I was. All right. To end the actual lesson, the correct way. Okay. So we were in Acts 19, okay, and 11. All right. And basically what we were going into is, how these demons are always plotting on us to basically, you know, do whatever they can, to make us go off. Some of these demons try to, plot on us to try to take us out of the way and unalive us at the end of the day, and it's all coming of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pursuant to Ecclesiasticus 39. Okay. Also going in which verse 28 and up to 30, and then you have also Colossians 1. All right, that first chapter explains how Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has created the invisible things and the visible things. Okay, so I left off where Acts 19 was showing you that these demons, okay, they know who we are. Okay, so us being part of the elect, they're always plotting on us to try to, make us go off, make us try to turn from our faith, because it's that spiritual wickedness in high places, especially in the time that we're in this winter solstice right now. Okay, but this is Acts 19 and 11, and it says, "And Yahweh wrought special miracles by the hands of Paul, so that from his body were brought onto the sick handkerchiefs and aprons, and the diseases departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them." So he's showing you that when you get diseases, when things are brought upon you, they're pretty much demons at the end of the day. All right, and this is why all healing come of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is the only one that could ward off these demons. And the name of the Lord is the most important thing. It's the key ingredients, okay, of these things. All right. So continuing on, it says, it says the certain, it says the certain of the vagabond Jews, all right, exorcists took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, saying, "We adjure you by Yahweh Shai, whom Paul preacheth." And this is where it ended up cutting off. And there were 7 sons of one Siva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirits, see, this is the demons talking. And the evil spirit answered and said, "Yahweh Shai I know, and Paul I know, but who are you?" You see, showing you that these demons know. All right, that's why, because they're constantly going after the elect. All right, that's why the elect always has to constantly call upon the name of the Lord, pursuant to. All right, let me grab that one more time. Uh, Ephesians. Okay, this is Ephesians. 1 second. Ephesians 6 and 10. Let's read it again. It says, I'm going to get to the point 11. It says, "Put on the whole armor of Yahweh." This is why, as the elect, we have to put on the whole armor every day, daily. All right. We have to constantly pray unto the Lord. We have to pray, fast, good 2 times out of the week, to keep these demons, from getting on us, jumping on us, they pretty much bounce off of us at the end of the day when we're calling the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because in James it tells you that if you believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you do good, all right? The devils also believe and they tremble, because they tremble before the name of the Lord, because they are in control by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is the one that sends these demons, you see? So we have to ward them off by constantly calling on the name of the Lord. And when you call the name of the Lord, all right, and you know this true doctrine, all right, the actual true doctrine, okay, these demons flee when they hear the name of the Lord, all right. They flee for a season, and they come back. This is why we always have to stay prayed up, But when you see these devils out here calling on, Jesus and God and Jehovah, they actually are increasing their demons, and them demons turn into that strong delusion given to given from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because they truly didn't believe, you see. So it says, for put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Okay. Matter of fact, let me go into that. And all right, let me see what it says for wiles in the blue letter. Wiles of the devil, which is basically evil schemes, I believe. All right. Methodiah.
Strong's G 3180. Methodiah.
Methodiah. It says cunning arts, deceit, craft, okay, trickery. You see? That's what Satan's about. That's what these demons are about. You see, they're cunning artists. Basically, they're filled with deceit. They're very crafty at how they come at you. Okay, and they're full of trickery. You see. Let me see what this says right here. Hmm. Okay, when you go into that word methodiah, right? All right, methodiah breaks up to, it's a compound word. You got meth. You got meta. Okay, which probably goes from meth. All right, meth. All right, we know that means behind, after. Okay, so the other word is Odiah, which goes into who you.
Strong's G 3593.
Haduo. All right, it says to travel, journey, right? But the root word of that goes into hudos.
Strong's G 3598. Hadas.
Okay, and then it says metaphorically a course of conduct. You see, meaning they under they have to follow a certain course of conduct, because it's of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, showing you that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is in control of them, right? In control of their course of conduct. Okay. Then it says a way, example, manner, all right, of thinking, feeling, deciding. Okay. So they're constantly, the Lord sends them and they're thinking of ways, okay, right, deciding on ways to deal with you, to let me see how can I make this person go off, or let me try to remember, Satan is always sifting. Sifting goes into desiring. You had Satan that was begging Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He was sifting him. He was basically begging Yahweh to be able to break him down from his faith by inward agitation. You see? So us knowing this truth, these demons know who we are, and they're always trying to make us go off. They're always trying to attack us in many ways, in spiritual wickedness in high places. And this is why you have to have that spiritual armor on at all times, because the moment that you let go of that spiritual armor, you make yourself susceptible to these demons. All right. And it becomes a playground for Satan. Okay. Remember, as a matter of fact, when it tells you, let me grab this. um he gets 7 more spirits, KJV. This is, I'll grab it from, I'll take it from Luke. This is Luke, okay, 24. It says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest, finding none. He saith, I will return unto my house whence I came out. Yeah, because when we come into this truth, the Lord basically cleans those demons off of you. He gives you that true exorcism, that true baptism, you see, and he cleans them demons off you. But when you don't pray, or you try to, go back into the world, all right, and you don't fast, you make yourself susceptible to these demons to come mess with you. And what happens is these demons already have came out of your body, all right, out of your mind, because that's what demons really do. They just plague your mind more than anything, all right. And when they come out of you, they're looking to try to get back into your mind, which is their house, their home. That's their playground, you see? So when you constantly stay prayed up, there's no way they can enter back in. All right. But when you don't follow those things and stay tuned up with the Lord, they're trying to get back into your body, basically into your mind. Okay. It says, and he findeth none. He said, I will return unto my house whence I came out. And when he cometh, he findeth it swept and garnished. Yeah, he don't find anything there, you see? So it says, then goeth he and taketh to him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. See, and then when they see that you're not prayed up and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, that home that they once were in, okay, they see that it's empty now, but now he goes and calls 7 more demons to jump on you, you see, and now they come in and have a party, and that's why you become more bugged out. All right. And that's why it says, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of the man is worse than his first state of mind. You see? So that's why it's so important for you to actually stay prayed up all the time. And the biggest weapons we have in this truth is we have the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay. And then you have 2 special powers right now, physical powers that you can actually use to make miracles happen, and that's by prayer and by fasting. You see, because prayer is going to pierce the clouds, those that believe. Fasting is when let's say you go off, you got to fast on it, you got to pray on it, because that demon jumps on you. All right. And now you got to get that demon to come off you. If you do not pray, that's what's going to end up happening. You see, they'll end up entering into you and they can plague your mind even more. You see, and that's what you just saw in 19, Acts 19. Okay. The sons of Sceva tried to call on the name of the Lord, all right, to ward off demons. But because, one, they weren't of the elect, 2, they really didn't believe, you see. And the demons knew that they were not of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you see. So it all goes hand in hand, why I brought out that testimony earlier, the spiritual wickedness in high places. There was that lady, and she really looked like she looked like a shaman, to tell you the truth, you know. That's right. That's right. That's right. Like a phone a friend. Exactly. Exactly. So, at the end of the day, and Shalom Malak Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Barakatai, you guys just tuned in now. You got to go to the video I did before this because it cut off in the middle of me bringing out scriptures. Basically, these demons just try to cut off my whole video, so you could pick it up from what I was talking about before. All right. But again, these when they tried to call upon the name of the Lord, they weren't really believers of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. They were just mimicking, you see. So again, when I saw that lady, now that I think of it now, okay, now that I think about it now, that lady that was in that store when I got those herbs, okay, she very much had a demon on her that knew who me and my wife was, you see? And they jumped on that guy to give us those herbs, okay? And this is what they do. They plot. They try to plot to harm you, try to kill you, to try to break your faith, to make, break your faith through inward agitation, So that's exactly what I feel through the spirit. And it's been hitting us the whole day. You know what I'm saying? That's why everything is all normal now. Like nothing ever happened. You see? So by us getting those herbs from that guy, that lady must have put a demon on him because he gave us those herbs for free. And then he said that it was good for her pregnancy. And come to find out, it was actually bad. That's why she went into early labor because that was one of the symptoms of that herb, and pretty much that's why she started bleeding because it thins out your blood, it purifies your blood, which is it is a good herb. It just wasn't meant for a woman that's pregnant. And out of his mouth came out, oh, this is real good for a woman that's pregnant. You see? Yo, that's a beautiful movie. Perfect movie to bring out because I watch that movie all the time. It's one of my favorites on my list. That movie Fallen, yeah, you just saw how the demons would jump from one person to another person, and that's what happens around us at all times. Demons are jumping through people trying to really get to us. They're not going to go after people that don't believe the Lord because these people already have demons. You see, they're just demons working together to get to you. You see, so that's why Paul, right? Paul and Yahushua were casting out those demons because they really knew the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and those demons were already always targeting them. See, Satan was always messing with Yahushua, trying to break his faith because they knew who he was, but it was all sent from on high. Okay, to always put us in that unfortunate situation, to test us of our faith, to see what we're going to do. And this is why prayer is very important. You see, that's right. But ye are forgers of lies, okay? Physicians of no value at the end of the day. Even though those people were selling herbs onto us, okay, which are very healthy for us, you got to remember these people deal with these things in their ways, in their mysterious ways. And a lot of these people use, like, even when I make necklaces for brothers, I'll pray on them because there's no healing really there is healing of those gems, but again, all healing comes of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But see, these other people, they might sell you an actual gem and they did some witchcraft with it, so it carries certain demons, certain vibes. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with herbs. You got people that like I said, that lady that walked into the store that day, she looked like a shaman. The more that I think about it, she had a hunchback. She came in with a walker. She gave him a plant. You know what I'm saying? And it makes perfect sense of why everything was happening. So if you missed the first part of this video, all right, go back and check it out. The first video, and I'm explaining why I pretty much ended up in the hospital. And I really felt that through the spirit today. Me and my wife felt it real heavy. And hey, we thank Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for, actually putting us in this situation because my wife could have kept just drinking that tea like it was nothing, and could have came out worse than what it was. But she only ended up taking a cup on Friday and a cup on Saturday, and boom, this is where we ended up, So it's all spiritual at the end of the day, Absolutely. The water Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord always working in mysterious ways. And let's just say we didn't keep our faith, we would have broke down on our faith. It could have went the opposite way. It could have been where I actually lost a child, you see, but because of the prayers of the brotherhood, that pierced the clouds. Look, all of a sudden, nothing, it's like this shit never happened, The doctors are even wondering why she was bleeding. They had no diagnosis or nothing. But when we looked it up, we realized what it was. And it was definitely a demon that jumped on that guy to give it to us for free, because I don't think he was trying to give it to us, with ill intention. He didn't charge us for none of that, He gave us like 4 different herbs, new herbs that, was good for us. you know. And then when you look at it in the spiritual sense, remember, we judge things spiritually, you know. When I judged it spiritually, it made perfect sense. You had a bunch of demons that was just trying to attack my child, man, you know, make something bad happen to my child. You know, inward agitation sift us from breaking our faith. You know, most people will be like, oh, you know, why, God, why would you do this to me? And they get very angry instead of praising Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We sat there and we meditated on this, and we even asked the Lord, like, man, give me a sign. Like, why did this happen the way it did? And it was more because you know, we have to examine ourselves all the time when things bad happen to us, because it's the Lord getting attention, trying to get our attention, you know. So me observing and me examining over and over, and I just kept saying, like, damn, why did this suddenly happen? It makes no sense. There it was. You know, you had demons jumping to people just for us to get these herbs. They were trying to get us through herbs, man. Something that's actually healthy for us, but it wasn't healthy for her because she was pregnant, you know. So if you missed the first part, just go back, you know, and pick it up from there. So that's the lesson. Salakia, it cut off in the middle of me doing, which again, that was nothing but shaitan cutting off the lesson, you know. But with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that was listening to them. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom, stay prayed up at all times, fighting the good fight of faith with the whole armor of truth always, man, especially in these last days. We have to stay straight, girded up more than ever, man, because spiritual wickedness in high places is very, very heavy. And we're in the middle of the winter solstice right now. And these devils are doing a lot of witchcraft and sorcery for these demons to attack the elect, you know, and us as the brotherhood and the few sisters in this truth, as the body of Yahweh Shai, we have to stay prayed up for each other also. You know, so again, the water Malak for those prayers, the water you brothers for the prayers, you few sisters, they pierced the clouds. The Lord gave us, you know, the whole scoop, you know, and I appreciate it very much. The water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Shalom to the next one.